I loved Tom when I read the story. He seemed to me like a sort of man from a time sort of gone by, which he is. But just in terms of his sort of moral compass, his strength, and his loyalty, I just thought, wow, you know, I could use a little bit of what Tom's got. The film is funny because, you know, people say, oh, it's a love story, and there's elements of that, but it, you know, it's really kind of story of life. It's, you know, I'm sure M.L. Stedman started the book on purpose after World War I, one of the greatest tragic wars. I mean, all wars are pretty awful, but such a horrific war, and what people did to each other, and the damage that it had to the people in the war, but also the communities left behind. You know, a generation of young men that were just wiped out. And it was funny, who was it that's, I think it might have been you, Jack, that said, well, you know, Isabel didn't have many options, when Tom was like, well, this guy will do, he's, you know, he's got 2 legs and he's functioning, and there just wasn't, you know, the concept that a whole generation of men got wiped out. So we're starting in a place where war and death is coming with us as a sort of shadow with Tom. And then we have, you know, Isabel's character is full of life and the possibility, fertility, the idea of, you know, the future. And then what happens to them, as I said before, having sort of, you know, gone through the miscarriage scenario, which, as Alicia said, a lot of people have experienced, but nobody really talks about, and the fact that they didn't have a chance to talk to somebody, and the decisions that they made were not made in a healthy way. It's life, though, you know. People do these things, they make decisions, again, as Derek said, they don't want to hurt anybody. But for me, the main thing, I suppose, if there was one thing to take away from it, it's forgiveness. And it's the character of Franz who says to Hannah, you need to forgive and let go. There's so many elements in this film, and again, you know, we see it today with the immigration scenario. You know, what happens to Franz is also something that we can see, we relate to today. You know, he goes out in a boat and he gets, you know, dies out at sea. We see so many immigrants dying at sea today, and how people react to new people coming into a country, and that sort of prejudice. So there's so much in the story, but what I like most, what I take the hope and the positivity out of, is this element of forgiveness. And that when we see Lucy at the end of the movie, she is a very healthy, positive, optimistic adult. And she has come through this. And you know, that's the other thing about us as human beings. We survive, we adapt. And we, you know, that is one of the most sort of amazing things about human beings. We can overcome incredible sort of experience and hardship, and have positivity at the end of it.